And what do you like most about working at Coopers?
Oh, what's not to like? Everything. I think, and having been with the business since day one in 2003, 2004, being part of something that you have had an influence over in terms of not just the business and its products, but the people development, the culture, the customer base, the relationships that you build. So being part of something like that from the offset to where it is today, with almost 50% of franchise dealers in the UK using one or more of our products, has been immensely satisfying, and to provide a work environment that has enabled so many people over the years to come in, enjoy, grow, experience, and have bolstered confidence as part of that has been hugely satisfying, and I think that continues. And so even though we've obviously been acquired by PIB Group, the two businesses are so aligned in terms of ethos and culture and the values they place on people as individuals, and allowing good people to spread their wings and do more, and not try and control, but to facilitate. I think is why it's still, even though it's early days, but I think PIB are only going to add to what we've established over the years, rather than change that in any way. So everything.
Yeah, excellent. What would you say is the most challenging about your role, either now or the role that you were playing before managing the
It's probably around knowing what to get involved in and lead, and what not to. Because I think the key to people being able to develop is understanding what their skills and strengths are, and not trying to lead by example all the time, although of course you do that, but there comes a point when you'll grow a business more rapidly and more successfully if you look at the strengths and skill set that people in the business have got, and actually get out of their way, and let them have a crack on their own, because you can only do so much yourself. But obviously if you can surround yourself with people who are I'm no doubt better at doing certain things than maybe I was when I used to try and do say a lot of the sales, for example. As a company, we've grown much more quickly in recent years, allowing a wider team to go out and sort of take the sales opportunities forward, rather than trying to hold them all in yourself because you think you're the best placed person to do it. So and that kind of goes across every element of the business, in that you feel like you want to have involvement, or maybe have the casting vote on something, which of course at times you have to, but actually it's far more rewarding and more empowering to those in the business if actually you can let them come up with the solutions, question the solutions, propose next steps, what to do, how to tackle something, and then see that through, where they can then reflect and think, that was my idea, it was my approach, and I made it successful, and I've delivered a fantastic customer experience as a result.
Start to finish kind of thing.
And so sort of judging where you need to get involved and where you don't is one of the trickier things. But actually I'm realising, and have for many years, that there's a talent pool in this business that is exceptional, and people just need to be given the opportunity. Because nothing brings out performance like an opportunity to people. Otherwise you never know what someone's capable of, and they don't know what they're capable of either.
Exactly. Good.
Next.
So you've got two young children.
I have.
How would you explain your job to them in simple terms?
So my daughters are this right. 8 and 5, and in their world, I guess everything revolves around primary school, and within primary school they will have a sort of prefect head pupil kind of setup. So the way I'd probably describe it is a bit like being head pupil. You still have your obviously there's a huge pool of pupils. There are prefects, and then there's a head pupil whose role is to lead by example, agree and set best practice, advise, coach, mentor, guide, all of the things that add to the culture and ethos of their school. Would be fairly similar to how it works within a business, really. And where the head pupil would report up to or feed back to teachers and head teacher. I have exactly that with the team at PIB Group. So that's probably how I'd have a go at explaining it so that it makes sense in their world.
Yeah. Oh, good. If you could spend the day doing someone else's job at Cooper's, whose would it be and why?
Yours, because I'd like to ask the questions. but that aside, when I walk around the office, I'm pretty au fait with what most people are doing and how they're doing it and what the end result is and so on. But the one area of the business that absolutely stumps me is when I walk through development and see people with 3 or 4 screens around them full of gobbledygook. That is just amazing that actually turns into something that our customers use and value and becomes something simple and tangible, yet starts life in some code as just a complete and utter mystery. And yet to them, or to the guys that work in development, it's it's as normal as speaking English. So I'd love to spend time understanding what all of that stuff actually means and how that actually turns into what it is that we've built a business around, because it's a kind of it's a bit of a dark art, which would be good to understand. So I'd say spend some time in development, and ask them really annoying questions, and then think you're so silly. But I find that interesting.
Good. And finally, what is your vision for Cooper's for the next 5 years? Where would you see us?
Well, I think looking back over the last, say, 5 years and the growth as a business in terms of revenue and profitability and customer base, I think continuing that with that formula through the next 5 years would be pretty successful anyway. So meddling with that too much could be dangerous. I think the values that we stand for as a business form long-term stable relationships and partnerships with our customers. So you wouldn't want to touch that or interfere with that because you just wouldn't want to. It's one of the main strengths of the business. And continuing listening to customers as well. Everything that we do as a solution has come from experts in the industry who have given us and shared with us the pain points of their daily working life and have helped us to shape and mould solutions that hopefully add value and make their lives that bit easier and better, both for themselves and for their customers. So for as long as we're working around motor retailers and working with motor retailers, it is very much that partnership that's driven our organic growth and makes sure that we continue to develop through listening and understanding. We're nearly at 50% of all franchised retailers in the UK, so there's a big opportunity there. But similarly, outside of the UK is an equally big opportunity. We're working with BMW main dealers in Spain, so our platforms are clearly transferable to other territories. So outside of Europe, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, other Commonwealth countries, Canada, the model of in particular things like day rate insurance could be something we could replicate elsewhere. So I think there's always those opportunities. It's about sifting through the opportunities and making sure what you back has the most generic appeal to prospective customers. So really much of the same, but always having an open mind, never to rest on laurels, and to keep thinking, keep innovating, and keeping pace with an industry that is moving at a heck of a pace. Who knows what the retail landscape will look like in 5 years' time? Who knows what vehicle mobility and vehicle ownership will look like in 5 years' time? We're getting an idea of how that's starting to change already, and it's certainly mine and the senior management teams in our best interest to try and keep at the forefront of that, and identify opportunities that we should be part of and embracing, because things change at such a rate. But being a fairly small business, we can change in line with that rate. Being small makes you nimble and adaptable. So it would be a shame if we ever lost that.
Excellent. That's it. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.